Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Eutaw Street Banter. I'm here with you, and then we got Greg joining us from over there. He's going to be joining us this week. Cody, he decided to skip out on you guys. Said the Orioles are winning, so that means he's going to be gone. So if we keep winning, you'll never see him again, maybe. I'm kidding. But yeah, we got an exciting lineup to talk about today. You know, we got some good stuff. The Orioles have been playing some pretty fun baseball, and I'm really excited to kind of see how it keeps going for the rest of the season. But the week in baseball has been kind of wild. It's been a little bit since we talked to you guys, but the one big thing that's been happening lately is the Little League World Series. Little League Classic just happened this past week, and the Little League World Series always brings a lot of excitement. You know, with a lot of kids playing, it's always fun, and there's definitely some interesting moments that have happened, whether it's the Little League putting out a statement saying that you shouldn't gamble on little kids, which, you know, I never would have guessed is something that you would have needed to do, because first of all, I don't understand sports gambling all that much in the first place, but then at least with, like, say I'm going to go bet on the Orioles. I know what Adley Rutschman's stats are this season. I know what he's most likely going to do. That random 12-year-old from Nebraska, I have no clue what he's going to do. It's like, I don't understand what the point of even doing that is.
Yeah, you have to be pretty degenerate to bet on Little League baseball.
Yeah, I just couldn't even, if you're going to gamble, I understand gambling's always putting a risk, but you have to gamble knowing, like, you have, like, yeah, I feel good that I could win money here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can say, yeah, I think I'll win money here.
Yeah.
It's just shooting in the dark, really.
Yeah, it's big.
But, I don't know. I saw there was the one team that was caught stealing signs or whatever, which I guess in the Little League, you're not supposed to do that probably, but I like it. I mean, that's baseball. So, like, I don't really get upset at stuff like that, but I mean, umpires are going to be umpires anywhere you are. But, I know it's exciting because the Mets just played, they won. So that's like the first time probably in about a month that they've won a game. They've been real rough lately, but I saw some pretty cool stuff. They had some really good media stuff going on with the kids. I think it was Jeff McNeil, or no, not McNeil. It was someone was interviewing kids on a bus, and they were, like, asking him questions. I just think that, like, that's a cool thing that you do. Why not do it? Like, half the players right now are there at one point. It's all fun.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is to try to get keep kids interested and to be just more interactive, making the major league players more accessible.
Yeah.
To the kids. Yeah,
and especially, I mean, you want to get kids need to be in Little League much more than they are now.
Mm-hmm.
Travel ball's kind of taken over, and honestly, it's kind of, I mean, I play travel ball, so it's not like I didn't play my part, but I feel like travel ball is almost ruining a little bit of what baseball is and youth sports as a whole, just because of how travel sports as a general, like outside of baseball even, is just kind of crazy with the way parents and teams and the amount of money it costs. I think Little League is good. It's a good organization for kids to really get into. And I mean, look,
well, Little League's community.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and that's the big thing that I've always pushed to my kids and everything. They played the travel leagues and all that, but the community, there's nothing like playing with your friends. Just flat out.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only place that, unless you go to a school with someone, like, there's people I played Little League with for 4 years in a row. I didn't go to school with them. I didn't see them outside of Little League, but they were great friends just because you saw them every once in a while when you practiced during the season, and you saw them for games and stuff. And it was, I mean, that you make memories you never forget from just Little League. That's what it's meant to be, though.
Totally agree with you.
But on a worse note, someone got injured this week. Well, not really, I guess, injured, but Zach Wheeler, he's probably been shut down, I would have to assume, for the rest of the season. It was found out, I think, on Sunday, or either Saturday or Sunday, that he had a blood clot in his shoulder. And I know on Monday he underwent surgery to get rid of it. I believe it was successful, but they really don't have a timetable for him. I know I listened to an interview with Rob Thompson, and he kind of said, he was asked, well, will this shut him down for the season? He said, I don't know. Is this a career-threatening injury? I don't know. That's what he said. I feel like, I mean, obviously with a blood clot, that's nothing I know. You talk about Tommy Johns, I know a little bit about Tommy Johns. That's serious. Like, he needs to seriously get healthy, because that's a life-threatening issue there. I mean, we'll see if he pitches again. It really sucks because he's one of those pitchers that's just always top 5 Cy Young finisher. Mm-hmm. And he was looking really good again this year, and probably was going to finish even like top 3, I'd guess. But
They were getting ready. I think they were getting ready to go with a 6-man rotation with him in it.
Yeah.
And that totally changed their plan. Luckily, they had Nola come back.
Yeah.
I think it was today or yesterday. I think it was, but he come back. But yeah, I think for the Phillies, if he cannot come back, it destroys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a killer.
Yeah,
It's a killer.
You say thankfully Christopher Sanchez has done what he's done this year, and he's been this good. Because I mean, think about it. If you get Christopher, not discrediting what he's done the past few years, but he's just been like, he's been above average. Like last year's above average, but he wasn't. I mean, him and Wheeler were going to finish top 5 Cy Young this year. And Sanchez will still finish in the top 5 Cy Young. So like, it does still help. You still do have that clear number 1, which come playoffs, that's going to be really useful. But it definitely sucks. I mean, you had a great 1-2 punch going in the playoffs, and now you got to kind of scramble. I mean, if I was the Phillies, I'd have to assume that they're assuming he's out for the year.
Yeah.
I think best case scenario, you look at him come back for the playoffs probably, because they're not going to want to rush him really. But it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. It really does suck for the playoff push, but hopefully he gets healthy.
Oh yeah, health is the biggest thing with that.
Yeah, but if we take a quick look at the standings, we've kind of had some new stuff happen in baseball because the Brewers have just decided to go and be the best team ever. When was it 12 or 13 in a row? Something
13.
like that. 13. I think someone did the math because they basically play like the Orioles, it seems like, because they like try to lose and then just barely win like every game. Or like they'll give up 8 runs and then just score 9. So someone went and took the stats of like their win percentage from the lowest point of every game. So like the game that they came back and beat the Reds after they were down 8-1 early or something like that. Whatever their percentage of winning was at that point, they put it all together. It was literally like a 1 in a million shot that they won this many games in a row. But yeah, the Brewers, I mean, they're killing it right now. Absolutely killing it. It's kind of ridiculous how good they've been. And I wish I was a Brewers fan. I think my dad actually told me, because of course my dad's an Orioles fan too, he came up and said, I think I'm going to be a Brewers fan for the rest of the season. Which, fun fact about the Brewers, of course, they've never won a World Series, but they actually haven't been to a World Series even longer ago than the Orioles, because their last appearance was 82. We won in 83, so I guess we're better than them. Not this year, but...
And the Brewers are extremely young, too.
Yeah.
Like the Orioles, I mean, the Brewers have a really young core, athletic young core, and their pitching staff, they just got Woodruff back.
Yeah.
Their pitching staff is filthy, right? So...
Yeah. No, I mean, Mizorowski's great. I have him on my fantasy baseball team, and he just got me negative 10 points in the playoffs, which really sucks. But other than that, that's his first, like his second back game ever. Yeah. So I guess I'm okay with it. He's been great though. Quinn Priester's been great. It's been kind of crazy to see how many solid pieces they have.
Oh God.
That they just pull them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, another NL Central team that's been doing really well is the Reds. They're really climbing up, and they're only, I believe, a game or 2 back of the Mets. Yeah, they're a game and a half back of the Mets for that final wild card spot. So it's kind of interesting. The Mets, I mean, they've been tanking lately. It's been it's been kind of crazy to see how much they've fallen off, but the Reds are definitely trying to take advantage of it. They've had an interesting deadline with some really odd moves like Brian Hayes. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to be a really tight race. I don't really see too many other people really competing in the wild card, so I think it's really the Padres. I think are going to be locked in there, and same with the Cubs. Who they're the other 2 wildcard spots, but
the Cubs have really been struggling. Being a Cubs fan, they've been struggling. The Reds actually are scary because they have the pitching staff to be good. The Hayes deal, I did not understand, and I don't really think defensively it helps them, but offensively,
he's not that.
No, but I mean, you're looking at the Central with the Cubs, the Reds, and the Brewers, and then of course the West has the Dodgers and probably the Padres.
Yeah,
the East might only get 1 team this year.
It's definitely realistic because, I mean, if you had asked me right now, I'm going to say the Reds make it and the Mets drop out, which is crazy. If you said that 3 weeks ago, you'd be slapped in the face basically. It's like, what do you mean? But it's just kind of how it is. And then, I mean, if you look at the American League, it's kind of starting to be the same way. I wouldn't put it completely out of the picture. I mean, the Yankees are still pretty pretty well set in that last wild
Mhm.
card spot. But I mean, it wouldn't shock me if the Royals come and take that last spot. They've been doing really well. They've climbed back above 500. Their deadline pieces have been doing really well. Adam Frazier's been killing it. Mike Yastrzemski's been a nice piece. The Guardians are still ahead of them by half game, but I don't see that lasting for long. But if the Yankees don't piece something together, they've been doing better as of late. I mean, they've won 7 of their last 10,
Yeah.
but it's just they were really taking for a while. I think it's very clear that the Blue Jays and Red Sox are playoff teams.
Yeah.
You can't say the same for the Yankees.
If Judge is completely healthy,
Yeah.
and he's there, their lineup's totally different. I don't like the Yankees as a real long-term threat. I, I I think their pitching staff is sketchy at
Yeah.
best. And they rely so much on Judge to be the offense.
Yeah.
You take a team like Seattle. Seattle's scary with their pitching.
Yes. 100%.
If
I
they
think-
get in, Seattle's
Yeah.
scary.
I mean, would you want to? So they're right now in the second wild card spot.
Mhm.
They would go up against. I think they'd go up against Boston then. Boston's been really good. That'd be a really good series, but I just don't know. Going up against Seattle's pitching in a 3-game series is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is Boston with Crochet,
Yeah.
he matches up against anybody. But Seattle's pitching, the only advantage the Red Sox really would have in that is I think the lack of offense that Seattle has. They can really go dormant.
Oh yeah.
Quick.
I mean, and you talk about Judge really carrying the Yankees. I mean, it does seem like it's pretty much the same with Raleigh, with the Mariners. I mean, they got Eugenio Suarez at the deadline. He's been cold since coming over. But I mean, all it takes is for him to get hot, and then him and Raleigh, they both get hot. I mean, that enough for their pitching can take you to a series win.
Oh yeah, definitely. And in a short series, it changes everything. So.
Yeah, I will tell you the one thing I don't know how it's going to hold up, but I mean the Astros are not that far ahead of the Mariners, and I honestly I talk about a wild card spot, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Astros don't win the division.
The Astros are playing the worst baseball they've played all year.
Yeah,
now.
That watching them against the Orioles, they looked bad. Like
the Orioles dominated them.
Like I'm gonna be honest, Brandon Young looked great. But you let Brandon Young go 7 2/3 perfect against you.
Well, I will tell you one thing about Brandon Young. Me and my brother went to the Orioles game when he pitched against the Mariners.
Yes.
At home. It was the rain delay and it was horrible, but he's got good stuff.
Oh yeah. He has good potential.
He's got good stuff. He just wasn't great at locating that day. And that's the Stowers day where he hit everything in the ballpark. But he can pitch.
Yeah.
I like that kid.
I think he's got a good shot at being in the rotation next year. But yeah, I mean, you even just look between. I mean, they didn't get much runs off of our bullpen. Our bullpen's bad right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like to be fair, like you might not think it, but if you go look at like who they went up, like they went face Brandon Young, who did really good. Dean Kramer's been amazing lately.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to face Dean Kramer right now, which Cody would get mad at me for saying that because he doesn't think Dean Kramer's amazing, but that's whatever. But yeah, I think the Mariners, like if I had to predict, I think the Mariners win the West. I still think the Astros get in, and when the Astros in the playoffs, I'm not going to bet against them.
No,
they're still the Astros. They have Carlos Correa back, so who knows what they'll pull out of their hat to win.
And in a short series, they have 3 really good pitchers too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Hunter Brown's he's fully lived up to be what he was when he was getting called the next Verlander. I mean, he's fully lived up to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to really see how everything plays out. But what's something interesting I think could be that plays out is if MLB expands. You know, Manfred came out and said they're looking over in the short term. We could see some expansion teams. We could see some division realignment, which I'm a fan somewhat of one of those, and I'm not a fan of another one of those. Let's first start with expansion teams. We talked about this before too. There is one team or one city clearly that's the number one option to get an expansion, and it's Nashville. I think without a shadow of a doubt, if you expand, whether you relocate a team or you have a new team, Nashville's the place that it goes.
Yeah, Nashville's definitely. I know we were talking about it. After Nashville, I could see Montreal coming back, but one that just popped in my head, and it's usually a pretty good city for supporting its sports, San Antonio.
Yeah.
That would give you
Sure.
3 in Texas.
3 in Texas, yeah.
But San Antonio usually is pretty good at supporting it.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, I think there are a lot of viable options left, because I know, like we talked about, like Portland's been thrown around. They have an investor group that wants some. You got places in the Carolinas, Salt Lake City, San Antonio, like Oklahoma City, New Orleans. There's plenty of cities that if they put an MLB team there, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. But the issue I have is, if you do that, you have, like we said, you have to put 32. It has to be 32 teams. So you have to have 2 teams come in, which would be interesting to see 2 new teams come at the same time. I've never been alive for any expansions like that. I was born with these 30 teams. The only thing that's happened in my lifetime is the Astros became an American League team. That's the only thing that's happened in my lifetime.
I've been alive. Let's see, the Rockies and the Marlins when they came in. That was fun. Well, I was alive when Tampa Bay came in. That was fun, but when you look at the expansion, first of all, I do not think baseball needs to expand. I would be a fan of relocating some teams from cities that just don't draw. But if baseball really expanded, I think structurally, there has to be some things done. I know every time people talk about salary cap, it becomes an issue. I mean, the Marlins bought 2 World Series. I mean, the 1 World Series, they went out and just spent all the money and were able to get it. Colorado's kind of taken a different aspect and really have never been. I mean, when they had Walker and Bichette and those guys, they were really good. But I will say baseball's in a better place than it has been in a long time with competitiveness.
Yeah.
I hate to see expansion come in and ruin the depth of competitiveness with baseball.
Yeah, because I think if you look at the NBA, they have, like, if you're gonna look at any league, they have the worst parity among teams. It's because, okay, MLB, we have the Rockies. The Rockies suck. The White Sox suck. That's really it, because the Marlins normally would suck, but they've been good this year. Look at, like, the Nationals. They're sometimes bad, but they've been okay. Even, like, the A's, they're competitive. The Angels are competitive.
Yes.
You really have it. I think if you have 30 teams and if 28 of them are competitive, that's okay. You're okay. But I mean, if you look at, like, I went to a Washington Wizards basketball game this past year. It doesn't even look like NBA. Like, it does not look like that level of basketball.
It's not fun.
They played the Rockets. The Rockets put up like 30 more points than them, and it was one of those things. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised they did it, but, like, it was just boring. Like, it was almost boring to see it because just nothing happens. They're just getting beat down. No one was there. There was maybe 5,000 people in the crowd. It was ridiculous.
And that's the last thing you want for baseball, because baseball, I know the salary cap issue, the economics of baseball sometimes throws people off, but when you think of where baseball is as a sport right now, the Marlins, Tampa Bay, I would say they're the 2 most struggling franchise when it comes to fan bases.
Yes.
And there are cities where they could relocate to, and I think it would be fine.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do, my perspective, and I know why they want expansion, is because the rights, the fees to get an expansion team, there's a lot of money in this. But baseball, the biggest issue facing baseball right now, besides just the salary stuff, is the TV deals, the economics of all that. And they really have to figure out all that before expansion. But I could see Tampa Bay moving because they don't have a new stadium or any of that.
Yeah.
That would be one you could see ending up in a Nashville or somewhere like that.
I think they're at most risk of moving. Obviously the A's, but we know they're moving. But definitely Tampa Bay, because you look at they're in an unfortunate spot as a franchise because of natural events, like not outside of their control, but they didn't have anyone. Their stadium was outdated as it was, and they didn't have many people coming to the game. Granted, I've been to where they're located. It is hard to get to. Like, it's hard to navigate an area. There's not a lot of it's a lot of tourists that are in that area. So it isn't a rough spot for fans to even get there. But yeah, if you relocate to Nashville or something, I think that could kind of revive the franchise. I do believe Miami should stay put, purely because the Marlins have been very good this past couple months. Been really good. And the fans have shown out. I mean, granted, if I was a Marlins fan, I wouldn't want to show out until they were good too, saying that they haven't been good since 2017 when Stanton won MVP. Like, they haven't been competitive since the Stanton-Yelich era. And that's been, almost 10 years now. So, like, I didn't want to support the Orioles in 2019 to 2021. And that was we were only like really bad for like 4 years.
Yeah, it's hard to get fans the Marlins went through periods where they were trading away their best talent, their youngest talent.
Yeah.
Because of the economics of re-signing and stuff like that. And that's what I think for baseball to stay healthy, and it might be as healthy as I've seen it in a long time, as competitive, the depth of competitiveness. They can't, to rush in expansion over a couple $100 million when it could really hurt the depth of the league. And as you were talking about, you expand and now you start realigning divisions.
Yeah.
You can't break up natural rivalries and stuff like that. And so it really gets into it gets sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really hard to see a world in which, say, you add 2 expansion teams. How long do the Rockies last as a major league team in that?
I agree with you.
How long do the Tampa Bay Rays last as a franchise? Like, that is the problem you start to see. Like, you could see teams start falling apart. The one last thing before we move on to division realignment I want to just think of is, if you look at the Wizards, they've been bad for a really long time. For like basically my whole life. They've had a couple good seasons. They had John Wall for a while and stuff. But still, they've been overall bad. And the one way that baseball's always had to help that is you always could rely on, well, if I'm the worst team, I can get a prospect that could change my franchise. I could get that guy. You can't even guarantee that anymore because just like basketball, we have the lottery. I mean, look what happened. You thought the Wizards were awful, and they got like the 6th pick in the draft. Yeah. You have a team like the Mavericks, who are always competitive, that just got the number 1 pick. They get Cooper Flag. You look at it, I'm not going to say it's unfair. I mean, I'm sure the Wizards need to do more. I'm not too tuned into basketball to know what they need to do to win, but I'm sure that it's it's not all just bad luck. Like, you look at that, you just look at it, you never know what's going to happen. But with realignment, I just don't see a world in which you can make it the way it is now. And no, there is going to be at least 50% of MLB fans that are unhappy with the way it goes. It's just that simple. Because you're going to end up with a world, say you end up with a division, if you're doing teams of 4, like groups of 4 in divisions, you're going to do Phillies, Mets, Yankees, and Red Sox. I mean, you could see it in a 6-year stretch. The Phillies could win 85 games a year and be in 4th place every single time. Like, it's just like, that's a possibility you run there. And then, like, some of the examples I saw thrown out were the Orioles, the Nationals, the Pirates, and the expansion team in North Carolina. And then I thought about, if we do that, the Orioles can make the playoffs with a 75-win season. Like, you got to think about, and if you're the Orioles and say you're Michael Elias, you say, well, I can make the playoffs with 75 wins. Why do I put this money and this effort into doing this other stuff when that's all it takes to win?
Yeah.
It doesn't work out. I told you, I think the way that I could only see it working out is if you switch it completely, trash the whole model that everyone's used to, and go to how it is in hockey. In hockey, you have the Eastern and Western Conference, and you have 2 divisions. It's like, for the Eastern, you have Atlantic and Metro, and you have the Central and the Pacific or whatever. I think if you were to break it up, and that's 8 teams, if you have 2 expansion teams, break it all up, that would leave you with like the Mariners, the A's, the Giants, the Dodgers, the Angels, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Rockies all in one division grouped together. all on the West Coast.
Which logistically makes sense.
Logistically makes sense, yes.
Yeah.
But then you run into the cluster of all of the other teams in just one group in the Northeast and Midwest.
Which is where your power comes from.
And that's where. But you look at it. How do you piece this together? How do you get the Brewers and the White Sox and Cubs, and how do you not take away the rivalry of the Cubs and Cardinals? But then, is there a way to have it so like the White Sox and Cubs can be in different divisions? Because it's weird to have two teams in the same division in the same city.
Yeah, it doesn't really division or realignment when it comes to baseball. You're talking about one of the oldest sports with such tradition, such rivalries. I mean, the number one rivalry in all of sports, in every sport they talk about, is Yankees-Red Sox.
Yeah, and that's a rivalry that's been going on for 150 years.
I mean, if that's the best rivalry in all of sports, whether you agree or disagree, and the pundits say it is, and how do you change just the feel of baseball by, I mean, even take being an Orioles fan.
Yeah.
The Orioles and Yankees is special. The Orioles and Red Sox is special.
Yeah.
The Orioles and the Nationals doesn't ring the same. The Orioles and the Pirates, come on, give me a break.
Nah, I completely agree.
It just doesn't work.
I mean, you even think it like the Orioles and the Blue Jays. I despise the Blue Jays. Like if you were to give me what are your three least favorite teams, it's the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And the Rays would find themselves somewhere in there, maybe a little bit not fourth, but maybe like sixth. But that's just because they're in our division. It's really all you learn to hate you learn to hate the Blue Jays. You learn to hate that's just the way fandom is when you're a fan of a sport. Like I'm a Cowboys fan. Mm-hmm. I through and through hate the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. I hate the Commanders. And that's what it's if I took an outside perspective to look at say the Commanders, I'm just outside of the baseball. Mm-hmm. The Commanders, they have a great young core. They have a team that you could root for. But I'm a Cowboys fan. I will never I will never wish anything. The only time I wish good on the Commanders is if they're playing the Eagles.
But that's
because I hate them a little bit less. That's fandom.
Yes, that's fandom. That's rivalries. And when you start to get into division realignment, perfect example is take football. When they've realigned over the years, the Colts used to be in the AFC East.
Yeah.
The Colts are now in the South. The South in football, in both, in the NFC and AFC, are the two worst divisions in football.
Yeah.
It's a free playoff for whoever wins it. So if you take that, now turn that into baseball, which you were talking about with the Orioles, with being Pittsburgh and an expansion team. So you're creating a weak division. It doesn't make sense. The power divisions make more sense. I mean, as an Orioles fan, I want them to beat the Yankees. I want them to beat the Red Sox. Go out and prove that you're better at drafting, development, and everything, and create that team that can beat those teams.
Yeah, like when the Orioles won the pennant, the AL East pennant in 2023, that meant something.
Yes.
If we're in a division of the Pirates, the Nationals, and an expansion team, that doesn't mean something. No. That's just like a playoff spot. It's that would be no different to me. It's a wild card with home field advantage. Yes. That's really that's all it is to me.
You're 100% right.
And I mean, think about it. Does the NFL's alignment make any sense? Why are the Dallas Cowboys that are in Dallas, Texas, in the NFC East? It makes no sense. But they're rivals with the teams that are there.
Yes.
That's truly the only. It's so that you can get them to play the Eagles twice a year.
Exactly.
That's the only reason that it's in. But it's because that's why the NFL is the best marketed league of sports in the world. Well, maybe not in the world, but at least in America. I think it's just that simple. Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked too much about other teams. We need to get on the Orioles. But the Orioles have been doing good. That's why I want to talk about them. They've been doing surprisingly. And I just asked the question why. There are many different reasons, but I just look, is it possible that Brandon Hyde was the problem? We know he was a problem for some stuff, but maybe he was like a genuine problem. Like, was he a liability manager? I know you weren't a fan of Brandon Hyde, but since Mansolino took over on May 17th, when the Orioles were 15-28, we were 10.5 games back of the AL East. We were 4 games into an 8-game losing streak. We had a .319 win percentage. Obviously, we kept going into a lose streak. It's going to take a while when you have an interim manager to figure everything out. We were at that point where we need to blow up the season. Like, this is ridiculous. What's going on? But since that day, we were 42-39, which you say, that's not great. We probably don't make a playoff spot with that, but you know what? We're not where we are now.
No.
You're competitive.
Yeah, the Orioles, since then, with all the pitching injuries, I mean, their pitching has been ravaged. With the injury to Westbrook, who is probably one of the top 3 players on the team. With everything they went through, ups and downs, they've been playing solid baseball.
Yeah.
So I can't say Hyde's the problem, although I was not a big fan. He did a great job getting them through rebuild.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who takes them the next step, because that's going to be the big question mark in this offseason for them, is who's going to take them the next step.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Mansolini is the manager next year. You look at how the end of the season went, especially if they continue on the pace that they're going, they're going to end up even better than they are now. And I think you look at that, you say, well, they're going up. Why not try to ride it out? And you say it's something that I'm not saying I agree with that sentiment of just ride it out, but I just have a feeling that's how the Orioles do things.
If they scratch 500, if you're talking, they have a month to go, they could do it. If they get,
it'd be impressive, but they could do it. Yeah,
they could do it. Even if they're 5 games under, which is more realistic about what they could be. That's a lot to come back from, being the division they play in.
Yeah.
And everything. And really the pitching and stuff they had. But, they've had guys step up. When you look at what's going in next year with Rogers and the other young guy we were talking about. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, you speak of the pitching, and that, I think, kind of has been the key lately of what's been going on, because obviously, we'll start with Trevor Rogers, because he's the obvious one. Trevor Rogers has been absolutely insane. He's started 11 games. He has a 1.43 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. And I've looked since his return of pitchers that thrown 60 innings pitch, basically. He is the best, like by far the best. His closest to him is Matthew Boyd on the Cubs with a 1.85 ERA. That's 0.4 runs different. Like that's basically it. He has a 3.7 WAR right now. I just went to a random pitcher just to compare. Paul Skeens has a 5.7 WAR. Paul Skeens has a shot at the National League Cy Young this year. A good shot.
Yeah.
He's 2 WAR from him in 14 less games. I mean, if you double Trevor Rogers' innings amount, he wins the Cy Young. If the season goes 2 months longer than it does, he wins the Cy Young. That's really, I mean, obviously he'd have to continue in this pace, but he's been absurd.
Rogers has been a godsend to them.
Yes.
I mean, going through the rough spell and everything, and he stabilized the rotation.
Yeah.
And he gave them a real number one that every 5 days he can go out and get a win.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see. And then you look at Dean Kramer. I mean, he's been so great for the Orioles. I mean, Cody always hates on him. He's been so locked down. I mean, he's been an absolute eating center. And
which is crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy because he wasn't an innings eater under Hyde. It got 5 innings, 4.5. They were pulling him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's honestly the one thing I like the most about Mansolini. I watched, it was the game on Sunday. He was pitching, and I think he had 95 pitches going into the 7th inning, 8th inning, whatever. I think it was the 8th inning. And he was left out there to go 105, 110 pitches. I love that.
He should be.
I think you should. You have to have confidence in the guys. Pitch count is not everything. It's high stress innings is really important. Mm-hmm. And that's important at every level of baseball. And you got to be able to recognize that. He has a 3.25 ERA since Mansolini has taken over. That's
which
legit stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I
legit.
mean, he's been good. He had, because I'm not a Kramer fan. I
Yeah.
always thought he was an up and down pitcher.
Yeah.
You never knew what you were getting.
To
But
be fair, he still is.
Yeah.
He's still doing every third or fourth start, he's going to give up a couple runs. But I mean, you hope when you get to a playoff stop, like he doesn't do it the one time he pitched in the playoffs and give up a lot of runs. But I mean, you're okay taking the risk on a guy that's going to pitch almost 200 innings in a season to go, because if he gives you 3 starts in a row, 7 innings plus 1 run or less, and then he does one of 5 innings, 4 runs, I think you take that every single.
Oh yeah, I think with Kramer, I still go back. The big thing with Kramer was when he was pitching well, he was still pulled. And like you talked about, 85, 95 pitches, man, you have to trust your starters. You've got to,
absolutely.
And I think pitcher starters, they pitch better because of that. You got their back.
They feed off the confidence.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They know that you trust them. And I mean, granted, it probably does help Mansalito's case a little bit when you look at it. Who's he really going to go to in the bullpen?
That's true.
Because that's the one thing I'm not going to talk about us doing well is our bullpen, because that's a whole nother.
They traded away everything.
We traded away everything. I mean, you trade 4 people out of your bullpen. What do you get? Well, and then Felix gets hurt. So, but I mean, you look at Brandon Young. It's been rough to say. I mean, he went almost perfect the other day. He went 7 2/3 perfect until stupid Ramon Arias had to come back and bite us. I know why he did that too. That was payback. Actually, it might have been that game. It was either that game or the day before. Kobe Mayo hit a home run, and the Orioles social media team put a picture out on like Instagram and Facebook, and the picture they have of him, it was the first picture, it's him rounding the bases, and it was just Ramon Arias in the background looking sad. Like genuinely, it was just him, and I think that was the payback, just breaking up the game. But it was still, I've never been that excited watching Brandon Young start. I mean, I watched a lot of that. He did really good. He looks good. If he can build off of that and keep going, I think if he just continues doing good, he locks rotation spot for next year.
There's going to be a spot.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, Cade Povich is the same way. There is such a clear lane for Cade Povich and Brandon Young to be in the rotation next year, because the only place you see someone that's been decent this year is Tomoyuki Sugano. I don't see us re-signing him. He either goes somewhere else or retires. I don't think he comes back, but he did good enough for us. He has a 4.13 ERA, 96 ERA plus, so he's just slightly below average. That's good enough. He was 8 innings. On this team, that's what you need. But you look at it, Trevor Rogers, Dean Kramer here next year, obviously. You hope and pray that you can get Kyle Bradish back healthy by next year, by the start of it. Because luckily we're not good, so Kyle Bradish has no stress to return. Like he can take his time healing. He can take his time rehabbing all that. I think he'll be here next year. I wouldn't even be surprised. Trevor Rogers is your opening day starter next year, most likely. If I had to guess. Yeah. And then if you run out him or Bradish, it's interesting to see what Bradish looks like in his timetable. That's the only thing I have to say. Like,
what's wrong with Rodriguez?
I don't even know. I don't bet on him.
Does anybody know?
I don't think so, because they don't give any updates. It's just like you'll get like 1 month update like every month, and it's just I almost don't even regard him anymore as a pitcher, because it's just the fact that he was supposed going into spring training, he was our ace. He was our opening day starter. And then by 2 more weeks, two weeks before the season, something like that, he was like, oh, he'll be back in May. Yeah, he'll be back in June, July. He might be back by the end of the year. And then he was just and then like you heard nothing from a month, and then it was like, yeah, he's done. It's like I mean, you assume that he's done at that point, but it's just I don't know if people know what's like. I don't even know if the doctors know what's wrong with him. I have no clue. I can't. I don't want to assume that he's going to be in the rotation next year. I genuinely don't know.
I don't think you can assume that.
I don't think you can. No, because I mean, we thought this was the year that he'd finally step up, and we haven't seen him pitch a single inning.
No.
I hope I think your locks are Kyle Bradish, Cade Povich, Dean Kramer. And I think you're looking, the other 3 people that it could be is you got Cade Povich, Brandon Young, and probably Tyler Wells, unless they move him to the bullpen full time, which would be okay with me. Yeah. I mean, you look at that, you also have Albert Suarez, who should be healthy by next year. And then you have some other guys. So some of the prospects you traded, maybe they advance quickly and you can bring them up. But it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. This rotation's been really solid for us, and you hope they can carry it down the stretch. And then next year, I mean, you look at the lineup and you kind of say the same thing. They've not been quite as great as the rotation, but it's exciting. That's what it is. Finally, they've called up our prospects. Basayo's up, Beaver's up. That's what everyone's been waiting for. It's because stupid logic of, if we wait till August 15th, they'll still be rookies for next year and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I understand, but at the same time, the one good thing is Basayo and Beavers are probably going to play just about every single day for the rest of the year. They're going to get their time. But my one biggest compliment I can give is they look good. Like they passed the eye test, even just their at-bats. They don't, like, when Jackson Holiday came up first, you could tell, like, he wasn't ready. You could tell that. These guys both look like they're ready. Maybe we've just been rushing all of our prospects, and we've been begging and pleading with them to call these guys up, but now they're finally ready. Who knows with that logic? Stupid Jesus Sanchez will always have a place in my heart where I'll hate him a little bit, because not only did he rob a grand slam, rob Basayo his first homer, his first hit. It's crazy. Like, but I mean, you look at the lineup on Sunday when Basayo made his debut. Adley Rutschman's the oldest player in that lineup. You have so much young guys that are going to be here next year. I mean, you almost say that lineup that they put out on Sunday, that could be your opening day lineup. Like, realistically. Adley at catcher, Gunnar at short, Westberg at third, Jackson at second, Mayo at first, Basayo DHing, Cowser and Beavers in the outfield, maybe Jeremiah Jackson, Tyler O'Neill. I have that one spot that you play with a little bit. But other than that, barring injury, that's how it's going to be.
Oh, I think when you look at them right now, I think the two best hitters average-wise on their team is Henderson and Westberg right now.
Yeah.
Holiday slipped a little bit. I think the length of the season and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think overall, they're starting to become a team that I could see next year. I mean, if your lowest hitter is hitting 250 and the rest are in that 280 to 300 range, which I realistically think they can be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think Mayo getting regular at bats has grown tremendously. Yeah. Some guys aren't ready the first time up.
Yeah.
But some guys it might take 2 times, 3 times. But if they don't get regular at bats, and I've said this about the Orioles the last couple years, I think some of their prospects have been treated on and off players.
Yeah.
You can't do it. If you're going to commit, you got to commit.
Yeah, and that's why I understand for the Orioles how difficult it is to do that when you're trying to win, and that's why that's why you look at this year and it kind of sucks that you waited this long to bring up Basayo and Beavers, because you look at, we're not playing to win this year. Why? Like, luckily Brandon Young, they let him ride in the rotation. That's what they should have done. Same with Povich when he's healthy. Like, that's what you have to do with these guys. Yeah. That's the only way they're going to get better. And I mean, you look at it. And like you said with average, like, I think you have Westberg truly is the key. I think Westberg, I predicted it this year. He got hurt. Yes. I don't know if it would have happened. I predicted that he would fit it. He would solidify himself as a top third baseman in baseball this year. I'm still confident in saying that, but he hasn't proved it because he's not played this year.
If he's healthy, because I think right now you're finally starting to see what he was out, 2 months almost?
Yeah, something like that.
And I think he's been back about a month and a half or so, maybe a little longer. You're really starting to see him become that second to Henderson.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a key to this team too, because it just I know there's stats to back it up too. I don't know the exact number, but like when he's not in the lineup and he's hurt, we do worse. Yep. I think he is that guy for this team that when he's there, we're clicking. I think that's huge because, I mean, you picture it, you have a next year where Adley is back to his 2022 and early 23 self. Or 2022 and 2023 self, early 24. He's all-star Adley. Gunnar is back to like he was last, like MVP contender Gunnar. Westberg fully forms into what he is. Mayo doesn't even need to be a superstar. If Mayo can just be, like, Mayo just needs to be a solid first baseman. I think that's what he can be. Basayo's going to be great. I think
he's going to be a hitter.
He's going to be. I give him I don't even think he'll make it to through his second time through arbitration before he's a full-time DH. I think that's what he's going to be, or just full-time first baseman. I don't see catching being long-term for him just because his bat's so good.
Yeah.
And same with like Cowser. Cowser kind of lost it this year a little bit, but I think Cowser's the potential's there. He shows flashes of it a little bit. Like he can be legit. We have these guys that when they're all clicking, they're going to be really good.
Oh yeah.
Like we've been talking, like we're really looking forward to next season and stuff, and looking forward to the rest of the season. But I have one question for you. What do you think happens with Kjerstad?
Okay. I think Kjerstad is invited to spring training. He's still there, unless the only reason Kjerstad would be released is if he's not on the 40-man roster in the winter.
Yeah.
And that means they would have either made a trade or they've picked up somebody or they signed somebody.
Yeah.
The problem with him, there's not a trade market.
No.
And I know a lot of Orioles fans. I know quite a few of them and talk to them. And, we could trade him for this. There's not a market for it.
Not right now. Because, I mean, yeah.
I don't know if I think he can be a player. The problem being, I don't ever think there was a place in the Orioles to consistently develop.
Yeah.
As an everyday outfielder. And I understand that too, because you're trying to win.
Yeah.
So you can't just keep putting a guy out there that's hitting 190.
But he wasn't even hitting that. He was hitting 120.
No. Yeah, exactly.
And the problem that I have with him though is he went down to the minor leagues and he did worse.
Yes. Yeah.
His stats were worse in AAA, which I don't think you can give up on him yet. Like you said, there's no trade market for him. I think he'll make it through the winter, like you said, invite spring training. If he doesn't figure it out, next year's his last year in the organization, and you'll see him be towards the end of, like he could be a trade deadline move for cash.
Yeah, that's about it.
Like that's what if he doesn't improve, if he continues on. I think he's had a lot of nagging injuries. It seems like. I just feel like his opportunity was last year at the end of the year, and then he got hit in the head and went on concussion. I think that was kind of his shot there. He was getting hot, and that I don't know if hitting him in the head did something to him, but I think that was a shot.
Yep.
And you have to understand though, like for Orioles fans, you can't expect every prospect to be great. You're gonna have your misses.
You're 100% right, and that's one thing fans have to realize for whatever team you are.
Yeah.
The baseball is such a different sport than football or hockey or basketball, because you do have the minor leagues for these kids, and you can have kids that can dominate single A, double A, and they get to triple A, and they can still hit. But the major leagues is a different animal for players, and some guys they say if you can hit the fastball at single A, then you can hit it at double A. But then you start seeing better breaking pitches at double A and triple A. And, in the majors, you're scouted by every team.
Yeah.
Every pitcher knows what you like and what you don't like. And they know every weakness you're going to have. And so if a guy can't figure out to fix it, they never pan out. And I think, hopefully he's not, but Kjerstad could just be one of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, I look at him, and the way I looked at him, at least last year too, is that I thought he was around Stowers. He was about the same. It's like, you don't I knew the Orioles were going to commit to one of the two between Kjerstad and Stowers. Kjerstad was the obvious one. He was a higher draft pick, higher prospect. It would seem like you gave up on him too early if you trade him. And I mean, you look at him, it's the same possibility that he goes to the Marlins. It does what Stowers is doing before he got hurt now. Well, it's one of those things that you look at him. I mean, look at Norby right now. Norby's not doing great with them. I mean, even like Joey Ortiz hasn't been doing that great with the Brewers. No, there's a lot of these prospects that certain teams have to just be right on developing them. I'm sure if you send Kjerstad to the right team in the right situation, he'll do great. It's got to be the perfect thing. And I don't see how he could get good on the Orioles, because like you said, consistent playing time. He'll never get that on the Orioles with Beavers and Cowser.
No.
And then you have, I mean, half our basically at this point, half our prospects are outfielders too,
Yes.
like they've always been. I mean,
Yes.
you still have people in AAA like Judd Fabian and Hudson Haskins who have had rough seasons, but
Mhm.
it's still going to be hard. They're doing better than him still. Like,
Well, that's the problem with it in baseball. Every year, you've got 20 new guys coming into your organization. That's without trades or
yeah,
anything. Look at what the Orioles just drafted. Look at the talent they just drafted. I mean, they were rated as probably having one of the best drafts.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
they
and
draft a lot of experienced guys
yeah.
to come in and play.
And then you think that, and then you also have the people like someone that I just saw in the Shorebirds not too long ago. He's up with the Ironbirds now in Single A, well, yes, high Single A, and that's Nate George. I mean, he was drafted. I don't know. It was like the 6th or 10th round or something like that, like middle of the draft, not a high pick at all in last year's draft. And he's he's like a top 5 prospect now. He came out of nowhere. He's an outfielder. He's climbing the ranks. He's killing it. He passes the eye test for me too, which I know what's that matter for if he passes the last eye test? Like, it really doesn't do anything, but it's one of those things.
Yeah.
He looks like a ball player.
Mhm.
He's got, I'll say this. The very first time I watched him the Shorebirds before I knew even anything about him, because this was like June. So it was before he was like all the new prospect rankings come out. I was like, this kid's going to be good. Like, this kid looks good. He looks really good. And you have guys like that are in the outfield that all it takes is if Nate George has a really good rest of the year, good spring, and a good early year, he's in AAA by this time next year.
Yes.
And then that's one more guy he's fighting. Like, that's,
Well, and that's, you look at the situation Stowers got into. It was a perfect situation. Hey, go in there. You're going to get regular at bats and prove yourself. And he did.
Yeah.
Ortiz traded to Milwaukee. He was in a situation where he was given an opportunity to win a job.
Yeah.
He didn't. And another young guy come up and took it.
Yeah.
That's baseball. That's what you're going through. And Kjerstad, like you said, when he got hit in the head last year, the Cubs had a guy 15, 20 years ago that came out, and he for the first 2 years struggled a little bit. Then he got hot near the end of the season and was playing well. Got hit in the head early the next year. Never the same player again.
No. I mean,
and it happens.
Yeah, I mean, look at what getting hit in the head repeatedly does to football players.
Yes.
And that's when someone's just running into you. That's not a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I know you got your helmet on, but it's really, helmets aren't that thick.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot of stuff that can go on up there. I'm not a nurse. I'm neurologist or anything, so I'm not going to, like, I don't have any proof that that's what's happening. But I mean, look at Ryan Mountcastle. He's been battling for like 3 years now with vertigo. And you say, he has these other injuries, but how much does that play into things?
Well, that's a guy that if he could ever manage to stay healthy, consistently, very valuable.
Oh yeah.
But he's not been able to show, just consistent health. And that,
because he has potential that if he were to stay healthy for 162 games, he could hit 30 home runs.
Oh God, yeah.
Like easily. But it's just he'll get hurt 3 times a year.
And he's a very good defensive first baseman.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think best case scenario for Kjerstad, he gets traded to like the Rockies and spends a couple months out in Coors Field hitting bombs.
Oh, I
think that's
where you would want to go.
That's where, if you're him, that's where you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have to DH there because he's not good enough defender to be out in that big outfield. But still, I mean, you look at it like that's a situation that he needs to go in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for him, I just don't see it going to happen with it. Unless something just next spring, he just lights the world up.
I mean, and this is what, I mean, I was, before the trade deadline last year, this is exactly what I was saying about Stowers and exactly what I was saying about Norby and people like that. I was just like, Kyle Stowers, I've seen what he can do. He's going to be good. I didn't think, granted, I didn't think he was going to be a top 20 player in baseball. Could never have imagined that he was going to be that good, because you can't predict stuff like that with a lot, like, because if you put Jackson Holiday or Kyle Stowers next to each other, which one's going to have a better season next year? Probably Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is. But like, I was like, if he gets consistent playing time, he's going to be good. Not with the Orioles though. It was obvious.
And that happens.
Yeah. Well, that about wraps it up, I guess. We've talked about just about everything you could talk about that's happening in baseball and the Orioles and all that. But we'll see what the Orioles do next year and next week. and next month and 10 years from now. It's all a cycle, probably. Like, let's be honest. There's a 50% chance we're here saying the same stuff next season for the Orioles, or we're saying we're going to win the World Series.
Exactly.
You never know. With a lot of young guys, you never know. Because that's the one thing is we talk about all these positive players, but all it takes is what's happened to us past 2 years and injuries. It's all gone.
Injuries takes everything away.
Yeah. But thanks for listening, guys. You can catch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them. We want your feedback. You can catch us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or X, I guess. Facebook, TikTok, all the social media stuff you can find us on. And thanks for staying along through this journey of a season. And we'll hopefully keep being positive, though. This is an overall positive episode, so hopefully it's like this for next week and for the rest of the season. But see you guys next time.
See you guys. Thank you.